I'm excited to share feedback from the Salesforce World Tour event held last week in Kyalami Midrand. I attended the event mainly to get inspiration for initiatives we could potentially implement internally for areas such as retentions, future fit, group schemes. That's how mainly I determined which breakout session to attend. I was also eager to learn more about how Absa is leveraging AI specifically, as I saw on the agenda that Lindelani, Karine, and Yoshana were scheduled to speak. So I was looking forward to their sessions. I also attended for professional and personal development reasons. So the event was very insightful, as expected, and especially relevant to the financial services sector. So there was a lot of companies there in the space. Beyond Absa, there was Nedbank, Discovery, Standard Bank, all of which shared their insights. So the conference mainly revolved around Salesforce's latest developments in AI, customer engagement, and was particularly focused on AgentForce, DataCloud, and Customer 360. So these tools, they're positioning them as sort of tools or instruments that will improve how we work, how we engage with clients, and tools that will really optimize our ways of work. So from the presentations to the live demos to the case studies, the event really demonstrated the potential of these tools. And for me personally, the key message that I got was that AI isn't really about replacing people, but more so about empowering them, enhancing what people do, and helping them or gearing them for success. So I'll walk you through each key area as seen on the agenda here, and reflect basically on what it could mean for us as a bank. So I'm not going to dwell much on the slide, but I think it's important for us to place what's going on with the AI revolution in broader context. Yes, we're here to talk about Salesforce and AI, but I think we need to peek beneath the surface a little bit and understand the much broader, bigger picture happening today. There's a lot of lessons we can draw from history to understand how our world has come to be the way it is today. So I started all the way back from the Renaissance period, where humanism was the philosophy of the time, and that led to the scientific revolution before, yeah. So this from the scientific revolution, then you had other movements, which culminated into the first industrial revolution. So did you know that before we had the industrial revolution, we had the scientific revolution? That's interesting. So for me, the printing press really is an interesting invention because it shares a lot of the parallels with the internet today. It facilitated the rapid spread of knowledge and ideas, and the impact it had on society was tremendous, from just redefining economies, spreading innovation, and changing labor, much like the shifts that we are seeing today in the era of AI. But during the first industrial revolution, people then started to move to cities to work in factories, and there was really no need for them to live where the food was cultivated, so like next to farms. So remember, the mode of transport had shifted from horse-drawn carriages to steam-powered trains, so people could travel longer distances, sell their products outside of just their communities. So you can read about the Luddite movement in your own time that happened during the first industrial revolution. And that's really the first time when we see concerns about job displacements due to technology or machinery replacing humans. And fast forward to the 21st century, lo and behold, that's still a concern. So yeah, you can just reflect about it, and just ask yourself, if you were living in the late 18th century, which side of the fence would you be on when it comes to how technology impacts society today? Which side are you on now with just if you look at how just the shifts that have happened, So yeah, so we had the first, second, third, and fourth industrial revolution, and now let's really focus on the fourth, because on the keynote address in the conference, and actually in one of the breakout sessions, we had two Italian guys who facilitated a session on how to drive value by harnessing digital labor. And they spoke of the waves of AI. So the first wave was predictive, which really analyzes historical data to identify patterns and trends, and could predict future outcomes. So that could be maybe customer behavior, trends, market trends, or risk. And then the second wave was generative, as we saw in 2022 with the explosion of ChatGPT. So generative, we know how it works. You just you have these natural language prompts. You use natural language prompts to create, and it's able to generate content. Yeah, that is uh, contextually relevant and is human, like it's coherent. Yeah, and then third wave now is agentic AI. So these are agents that can function autonomously, making decisions and taking action based on its understanding of the environment and predefined variables. So it's interesting to me that the third industrial revolution was mostly about automating manual physical labor. So it mostly impacted blue collar work. But the fourth industrial revolution is more about automating the mind. So it's automating, it's more, it impacts, it automates like cognitive tasks that involve reasoning, decision making, and it's self-monitoring as well, which is mostly related to white collar work. So that's an interesting just note from my side. So yeah, that was my humanities lecture for the day. So let's move into the meat of this presentation. So during the demo in the morning, during the keynote address, we really got to see how we really got to see AI come alive. So we really got to see how it improves customer experience, back office operations. They really demonstrated the art of the possible. So the demo was about a property management company called SKG Properties, and they were simulating a customer call arranging delivery. So the initial fridge that was delivered was too small for the office space where they wanted to put it. So the call was about swapping the fridge for a bigger fridge. So yeah, so we had Russell, who was a customer, and SKG who was calling customer support. Yeah. So what was interesting was currently, normally when you call any call center, you go through IVR asking, to type your ID and all of that. However, there was no need for that during the call, as the AI agent could identify Russell, the customer, via his phone number. But that's, to me, like that's not wow, because we can even do that today. Like it's not something new. But what was shocking to me, or I guess, was how the AI agent asked the customer Russell to take a picture of the space where he wanted to fit the fridge and upload it. So, and then based on the uploaded image, the AI agent calculated the dimensions of the space, recommending the correct size fridge, and arranged delivery. So that means checking driver availability, store hours, and all of that. And where there was escalation required, the agent would then pass the call to the call center. So the AI agent could speak like a human would. So instead of like IVR prompts, it's almost as if you're speaking to a human. That's what was really interesting about it, because it's conversational and much better in terms of customer experience. So yeah, so the important point here is that also where escalation was required, they would pass the call to the call center. So for example, where personal information was required or detailed information about the order. So it's like to not violate POPI Act and all of that. So the AI agent would defer the call to the consultant. So throughout the conference, they kept on highlighting this concept of guardrails, implementing proper guardrails and trust. Yeah, so this image kept on coming up a lot again and again during the keynotes and on breakout sessions. It basically showcases how AgentForce, Datacloud, and Customer 360 work together within the Salesforce ecosystem. So it's helpful to think of them as interconnected parts of a broader plan or strategy to deliver seamless customer experience. So, and at the heart of it all is Customer 360, which is Salesforce as we know it. So that's the entire Salesforce integrated platform, CRM, augmented capabilities, just the entire portfolio. For us, it will include apps like Customer Hub, our instance, Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Experience, all of it. And then you have Data Cloud, which sits at the center of it all. So Data Cloud is it helps to collate data from various sources anywhere, wherever it's coming from, and you can check where it's coming from, when it was last modified, and there's data quality tools in it. So data deduplication mechanisms or ways to just help it be more optimized for use. So there's also like automated data pipelines, and whether it's internal or external data, it doesn't matter. Yeah, and it operates in near real time. So yeah, bringing data from various sources, whether streaming or data, and it harmonizes all of it into a single consistent view of the customer. Yeah, and then you have AgentForce, which is this AI layer that sits on top of all of it. Yeah. So to make all of this possible, we have Mule, and yeah, it plays a foundational role in creating that single view of customer, because you are able to connect to various systems, cloud-based, on-premise, legacy, third-party applications, all of it. I mean, we know Mule, so I don't have to explain it. But if maybe I were to describe the difference between Data Cloud and MuleSoft, maybe I think Data Cloud is more focused around data centralization or unification or harmonization, whereas Mule is more API management, integration, and orchestration. Yeah, so this is Data Cloud and all of the actions that it can do, and it's governed by this Data Cloud Intelligent Activation layers. So this means data from Salesforce, external sources, structured, unstructured. Yeah, it could all work in sync. So let's talk a little bit about AgentForce, because that was really center stage at the conference. So in order for us to understand it, we need to understand how it works. So it all starts with a signal. So this could be a customer conversation via chat, phone, SMS, WhatsApp, or a trigger within Salesforce. So that would be maybe a workflow, a flow, an API call. So from there, AgentForce then initiates what's called an agentic loop. So this agentic loop is powered by the Atlas reasoning engine. They kept on that kept coming up a lot. The Atlas reasoning engine. I almost said Atlantic. So this Atlas reasoning engine, it uses LLM technology and other advanced reasoning techniques to understand context and reason through complex situations, plan actions, evaluate options, and execute defined steps. So once the reasoning is complete, the system is able to then move into action. So for example, get a fuller picture of customer profile. Yeah. So you define those actions, and then you can also configure the guardrails. The word guardrails came up a lot, and available actions. And so as a result, you have this autonomous intelligent agent that can understand human speech, text, and can take action in seconds that would take humans much longer, and can actually communicate with other AI agents. That, I think, for me, that's what makes it even more powerful, because then that's when the concept of an agentic digital workforce comes to life. So the concept of an agentic digital workforce came up a lot as well. Yeah. So let's look at ABSA's internal initiatives, because ABSA was there as well, and Lindelani, Yoshana, and Karine also spoke as well. So ABSA has its own agent called Abby, which reads knowledge articles and answers customers. So it acts as sort of like an expert advisor to the client based on their personal profile, historical engagement. It then looks at their needs and provides them product recommendations that are best suited for them. So during Lindelani's talk, he emphasized also that as we develop these AI solutions, he spoke a lot on just making sure that these AI solutions are grounded in regulatory compliance. So we need to ensure that we build solutions that have minimal risks and are compliant and act in a ethical and fair manner. So yeah, Lindelani shared lessons, and one of the key, I think the message that he was driving was just maintaining customer focus, ensuring that each solution that is built is customer centric and not product centric. So